Hi guys, Martin from TTC here. Earlier today I joined TTG for their webinar looking at the reopening of international travel and the prospects for this summer. It was a great event. Sophie and her team had put together a super league of industry speakers which thankfully survived a bit longer than the Florentino Perez efforts from earlier in the week. My job was to get things started, summarise the state of play before handing over to others for the serious stuff, and then I bowed out early. So I suppose you could think of it as the Tottenham Hotspur role. And it was a tale of two presentations, really. On the one hand, I talked about some of the reasons to be optimistic about the prospects of travel, because the consumer fundamentals are great at the moment, actually. Confidence is rising fast across all demographics. Unemployment levels have been suppressed, certainly nowhere near the Armageddon sorts of levels that we predicted last summer. Savings ratios are through the roof, meaning people have more money to spend. Even new Netflix subscriptions are tailing off. I mean, surely that is a modern day bellwether for real life opening up again. So the conditions, you can almost think of them as like a pile of dry tinder, really, and all it needs is a bright spark to set things off. Unfortunately, bright sparks, well, they're a little bit thin on the ground at the moment, particularly when it comes to this government. So the other part of my presentation laid out some of the many challenges we're going to face in the weeks and the months of uncertainty that lie ahead. I mean, for example, we're still really no clearer about the immediate future, and there are many more questions that need answering before we can get started again. A traffic light system is all well and good, but I don't think we should see it as a binary open or closed situation. Realistically, I think it will be a bit more like a journey down the A23 during evening rush hour, a kind of clumsy stop-go where you lurch forward and you fight for every inch of space, and probably while honking your horn and flipping the bird in a bit of road rage. The colour of the lights, though, in that scenario is largely incidental, unfortunately. Ultimately, the success of this summer, I think, comes down to the degree of extra cost and disruption and discomfort that customers are willing to put up with to still get their holiday in the sun. I think we have to trade through this period with the added pressure, of course, of nearly 13 months now without any income coming in. So, look, I know I sound like a Grim Reaper at these events, a Geordie Grim Reaper, the worst kind of Grim Reaper, and especially on a sunny day like it is today. But I genuinely think we have to be realistic if we're going to get through the next few months. The best way I can think to sum it up is something called the Stockdale paradox. It's named after James Stockdale, who was a US Navy officer, and he survived 8 years in a brutal prisoner of war camp when many seemingly more optimistic people perished. And he put his survival down to his ability to hold two paradoxical truths in his head at the same time. And he described it as, on the one hand, you must confront the brutal facts of your current reality. But on the other hand, you must retain the absolutely unshakable belief that things will eventually improve. So, look, that's where I think we are. I'd love to hear what you think. You can get a copy of my full presentation deck using the link below. I really hope you find it interesting. Thanks.